Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and it is the Ramsey Show Aftershow show, episode number 606. We have audio, so that's always good. I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And what just beeped? What just beeped? No notification. Okay. Well, don't know what that was. Where was I? Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you, yes, you are having money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me by emailing coachstevemoney@gmail.com. And we will make that happen. It will be a video conferencing appointment via probably Google Meet. It's what I usually use for my financial content. You're watching this on youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. And right below the Oak Island playlist would be the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. And all 606 are in there. And answering your financial questions. How many did the 200th one of those last night? In the music playlist, including such hits such as You Belong Dead Free, You Belong Dead Free, are in there. 12 Ramsey adjacent songs. Do listen to those if you are so inclined. Let's answer. Oh no, not let's answer some questions. Oh, I did it wrong. I set it up for financial questions, not the after show. On the after show, what we do next is market report. Hey, look at that. NASDAQ up 2.17%. Well, that may not get us back to, well, I guess it will get us back up to above over the last 5 days. But not as high as here on the 20th, which was Thursday, I think. But it still has some time to get there. So we'll see about that. And of course, 18.52. For the 6 month, 19.42. And that's great for a year since we're looking at least 10%. This is almost 10% more than that. Doubling it, almost. See what else is going on in the world. So the market completely up here in the Estados Unidos. Let's see what Europe is like. Everything up there as well. Mostly up in, nope, mostly down, excuse me, in Asia. See what that US dollar is doing. It is down to the euro, up against the Japanese yen, down to the British pound, love, up against the Canadian dollar, not Surrey. And it is up against the Australian dollar, saying NAR. So, dollar being up, and it's a good market day. That does happen sometimes. Earnings calendar, who we got this week? 25th is Analog Devices and Dell Technologies. As I hoped previously, I wouldn't go ahead and call it a prediction, but as I hoped previously, whoops, apologies. Okay. As I hoped previously, not a prediction, that NVIDIA would have a good earnings report, and they did. And so that did bring the market back, but then it went down one day last week as well. Um, Sparking hopes of rebound from November losses. What you talking about? Let's see. NASDAQ. November losses. So it's November. So at okay. In the last month, it's down 1.88%. So yeah, we ought to be able to bounce out of that. Let's see if it's the same with S&P 500. Yeah, down as well, 1.43%. So down even more in the S&P 500, which means again, if you're just doing S&P 500, you're dumb. At least put some in the NASDAQ too. The advice is not to do any of these index funds, though. It's to do managed funds that beat the index. Let's see. Google up 5%, or Alphabet, excuse me, that owns Google and the YouTube. And I wonder why. If there's a reason. Let's see. See if there's any news here as AI trade. Stocks, tech rebound. Offers a compelling reward to risk opportunity. Okay, so maybe that's why a bunch of people are buying. Oh, but these people from 3 days ago downgrading Alphabet. They had 3 reasons for that. All right, I was just curious. And sometimes we just don't know why the market is doing what the market's doing, because traders going to trade. You know what I'm saying? 2.3%. The NASDAQ is up. Very nice. And all up in general. Let's see if there's any fun articles. AI bubble views from Michael Burry. I don't know who that person is. Novo Nordisk, that would be your shares plunged to 4-year low after Alzheimer's drug trial fails to hit key target. Okay, well that's for that one. They also do make one of the either Ozempic or Wegovy, whatever that is. How it would I can't remember how that's pronounced. From Mojave to Beijing, how America quietly conceded the rare earth race. Well, if you're not going to be digging for those rare earth minerals because of anything related to the environment, then yeah, other countries are going to take over that particular thing. And so then you also can't complain about not being able to get any if they don't sell you any. So maybe we have to chill out on the green thing a little bit and get those rare earth minerals, or find a way to do without them. Trump mobile phone customers left waiting after months of delay. Oh, is he going to start a phone? I did not know that. At age 8, when Thomas became face of a national fast food chain, years later, her father apologized for the pressure it created. I wouldn't go so far as to say it would. I don't know how much pressure it creates. I mean, some of that cashish, if you threw some of that her way, maybe that might help lessen the sting of it. But I mean, anybody in the public eye, but I don't know that she was in the public eye that much. So I can't speak to it, not having been just the face of the national fast food chain. So, don't know what happened that would be bad because of that. So if there was bad stuff, undue attention, etc., then that does suck. Retail chain accidentally sold iPad Airs for $17 and wants them back. Well, hey, you know what? My name is Paul, and that's between y'all. That is what is called a company mistake. And if you make a mistake like that, that's tough crap. That's on you. Guess what that is? That is stupid tax for you selling the iPad Airs for $17. I don't even know what that is. Is that a tablet or what? I don't even know what it is. But yeah, that was your dumbass fault. And it should not be, it should have only been one before somebody noticed. Or they weren't paying attention. Even if bought online, somebody should have noticed because somebody has to pack it, I guess. Well, but then also the person that packs it might not be seeing the invoice for it. So who knows? But obviously there was a problem, and hey, fix the problem, and you get to eat the lost money for that. This affordable bourbon was named best in the world, and it makes a great gift. Yeah, I don't think, like, if you have a receipt for that from that retail chain, if you have a receipt for it, I don't know that they can do any kind of legal thing on that. I think you have satisfied your legal obligation by paying the amount of money that you needed to pay to get the receipt for that. So I do not have don't feel bad for the retailer at all. You need to be better, is what you need to be. Will technology provide a boost to truck drivers, or will it replace them? Might replace eventually. Monday's biggest analyst calls: NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, Ferrari, Carvana, Eli Lilly, Amazon, Walmart, and more. Yep, it's Black Friday week. Time for retailers to make money. And if you sell an iPad Air for $17, you probably won't be making much money. So do not do that. All right, and now it's time to answer some questions. Woody cheesecake. All right. I just need my cheesecake to taste good. I don't need it to be witty. I'm not high maintenance like that. Is Dave Ramsey's envelope system still a good idea for saving money, or is it not something people do these days? Some people do that, and it's absolutely what you should do if you need to do the envelope system, meaning you set your budget for like groceries at X amount. You put that X number of dollars into the envelope, write grocery on it, grocery, and then that's all you have for that month to buy groceries with. So you better not be buying things that are too expensive to it. You stick to your budget, and you should have, by spending that much money, you should have plenty of food to last the entire month. That is the idea. And so that's not going to work, though. If you are just by having an envelope, that doesn't make it work, but that can make you see like, oh, well, I went down from, let's see, our family grocery expenditures last month and the month before that were around $1,000. Well, this month I'm gonna put in the budget. I'm gonna put $100. That's unrealistic. So that's not gonna happen. So you need to revise the budget. You need to get the budget to the right amount where it is low, but not so low that you cannot buy food. And you may need to stop buying some of the more expensive foods and buy more of the inexpensive foods, a la rice and beans and rice. But yeah, my ex-wife and I did not have any problem sticking to the budget, so we just used debit card the whole time we were paying off debt. Um, Dumblebee, all right. 25 female, $20,000 of debt. What debt should I tackle first? Sell the car, thank you. Okay, so many things at the same time. What debt should you tackle first? That's in the baby steps, and that would be, of course, pay off all debt except the house using debt snowball. Debt snowball means smallest to largest amount owed. And so you don't have to overthink it. Just follow the freaking baby steps. A guy was just calling the Ramsey show, actually called the Ramsey show on Friday, and then that aired this morning on YouTube at 9 a.m. And towards the end of the show, he called, and he has something like, oh, I don't know, it's over $1,000. I can't remember what it was. It was like over $10,000 too, I think, that he has in savings. And it does not say to do that. It says save $1,000 for your start emergency fund. So the idea is that you start doing this stuff instead of the same dumbass stuff that you were doing that caused you to seek out this advice. The advice is to follow the advice, which is, again, spelled out fairly. So there's a few things that you won't get. But again, it doesn't say save more money. It doesn't say keep adding to this $1,000 as you're also paying off debt. It doesn't say that. So why would people assume that that's how you're supposed to be doing it? Because they wanted to still do it their own dumbass way is why. And that is not going to work. You need to follow the advice. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. The first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. That much is certain. Great. And I wanted to make a full transparency post. All right. Without doing my usual excuse making, we'll see if that happens. And maybe get some insight from people who have made it to the other side and or are at least a bit more financially literate than I. For starters, I've always been on the more impulsive side. Yeah, you need to stop that crap right away. And have gotten myself into trouble before, namely with vehicle purchases that I really shouldn't have done. That would be shouldn't have done. And, I mean, text-to-speech should know. They should have grammar rules in there and should know that it's not of, it's have. Shouldn't have or shouldn't of, if it's using the contraction. And a mixture of random impulse purchases ranging from $500 to $2,000 on credit cards. Yeah, that was indeed dumb as crap. I've always been able to bounce back to a full $0 balance, at least on the credit card side. That doesn't matter. The advice is to not use them at all. No debt. Mr. Ramsey's the no debt guy. How do you not understand this? Do you not understand this? And also, if you're buying those purchases that are not needs, then the money to make it to that go back to zero is money that you can't send to this 20,000 plus of debt. So yeah, first you need to stop being dumb and follow the advice. I did that already. Bounce. My worst was about 15,000 in credit card debt. That was primary, right? And so all that of medical. Okay, well that's a little bit different, but you still shouldn't do debt for that. Yeah, opening a new tab is what we want to do. So we get the rest of it. Oh my goodness, it's War and Peace. the exact position I am in now. So yeah, I'm skipping through that. The exact position I'm in now, I feel like for me is a little bit different though, because although I am in a position to bounce back, it is a much higher balance this time. And I really don't want to repeat the process and find myself back here. Well, so what you do is not call it a bounce back, because what happened when you were at zero balance before, you still kept the card so you could run it up again, and that's dumb. So you did not do that. So this time when you pay it off, you do not take out any more debt. It's a no and a no and a no and a no. You don't do that. And as an adult, you need to be able to tell yourself no. Just because you want something doesn't mean you have to get it. Definitely doesn't mean you need it. Had to explain the difference between need and want again today in the Ramsey Show chat. I have very little room for error, or I will multiply the treble 10K or 10 times. Yeah. So you don't do that. Cut up the cards, close the accounts once they are at zero. I got approved for personal loan yesterday that essentially roped every credit card I had, and getting another loan to pay off the credit card, that's debt to pay off debt. Don't do that crap. Quit being dumb. Including Care credit card, which promo was 2 weeks from expiring, and would have really screwed me up under the. Quit using it. Just pay it off. Best egg personal loan 17,000. New Vision personal loan. What's the New Vision for? This looks much worse than before the Best Egg loan. Well, yeah, because it was 22,000 probably. There was like 7 credit cards that are now fully zeroed out and locked. No, you don't want to lock them. You want to, if they're fully zeroed out, close them and never use them again. You're doing it wrong by keeping them. You're not following the advice. Apprenticeship grant coming in from Washington State for my electrical apprenticeship for $5,000 that I plan immediately using for these two guys. Hasn't come in yet, roughly a month out. What do you mean for these two guys? For these two loans? Oh, these two credit cards right here, 1328 and 3340. Yeah, okay. I mean, but then don't you need that grant to pay for schooling? Where's that money going to come from? See, and you might be planning on putting that on a card. So no, don't do that. You don't do that. You're not constantly cycling out. You want to get everything to a zero balance and you pay cash for everything. You're doing it wrong. BECU, something credit union there. Car loan for 2025. Subaru Legacy. You sell the car. $40,000 car. You don't need that. Sell it. The dealership tacked on a bunch of service, maintenance, warranty stuff that I explicitly declined multiple times. That's why you should be buying private sale and not at a freaking dealership. Sell it. So yeah, this person is not gonna. I don't think this person is still insisting on doing her own dumb crap. I believe it's her. Yeah, 25 female. She's insisting on doing her same dumb crap. So I don't have much hope here. What should you do about the car situation? Sell it. You should not have bought it in the first place. That was really dumb of you. Why would you do that? How do you think that you knew that your other debts were a problem at that time. Why did you think that having a car loan on top of that would be a good idea? That's so dumb. Anyway, I had zero idea I was signing an 84-month loan. Hey, I got a great idea. If you don't sign for any loan ever, then you're not going to get roped into a loan where your dumb ass did not read the terms of it. You are so stupid, ma'am. I've seen people say get rid of the new car ASAP and buy a beater. And yeah, that's exactly what you should do. I don't care about what you want to do. If you don't want to do that, do that. You said you're not opposed to it. Great, do that. The idea of no car payment is dreamy at this point, but geez, with as much as they got me, that amount of negative equity seems so hard to get out of. Well, that, my darling, would be your stupid tax, because you're a dumbass for doing all of the stuff the way you've been doing it. And the advice is to not do that. Stop doing it your way. Do it the Ramsey way. I'm ranting at this point. Yes, you are. Otherwise, ones of debt Reddit. Here's the numbers. What should I do? You didn't. Oh. Sell the car, first of all. Pay off all the other debt. That's the advice. We don't need to know your little particular numbers to tell you that you should follow the baby steps. Now, there's other questions where the numbers would need to be known in advance, but we don't need to know them. You just pay that amount off. So I don't need to know your numbers on that. I don't need to know your back history of how dumb you were with all this debt. I was dumb with debt too. Guess what I did? Paid it off. Paid it off. And you know how I paid that off? I didn't get any other car loans. Or didn't run the cards back up after I got them. I closed them. Quit being a dumbass, lady. My goodness. People are nutty. Okay. And so, yes. What debt should you tackle first? The smallest one. And sell the car? Yes. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. Stock market. Ninja Girls 007 is unloading cash into stock market to pull out for a car or house down payment in 2 to 4 years a good plan? No. It's fine to use the market as a piggy bank, but you have to have at least a 5-year window, because the odds are much greater that anything lower than a 5-year time period, the market could be down right at the exact second you want to use that money to buy the car or the use for the down payment. So yeah, got to have at least a 5-year window to do that. Otherwise, just put it in a high yield savings account. I'm financially independent. Great. No debt. Great. Happy renter. Great. Investing in retirement. 15% and a 529. Great, 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 great. Overexcited cousin. Wedding under $10,000. Hey everyone, I'm looking for some suggestions. My fiance and I just got engaged, and we're thinking of having our wedding in the South Midwest as we live in Florida. Venue recommendations or questions to ask in order to keep costs down would be greatly appreciated. Well, you wouldn't have to travel if you got married in Florida, right? You wouldn't have to travel. So debt-free here. So I don't know. I mean, if it's a wash because venues are so much more expensive there, maybe. But then that means everybody that you know that's there and want to come to the wedding, they would have to fly or drive to the Midwest or the South. Hey, guess what? You can't get any more South than Florida. Okay, so what do you mean the South / Midwest? What does that mean? So I don't know what your deal is. You don't even have to have, if money's the issue, you don't even have to have the wedding at all. You can just get married at the justice of the peace. And when you have sufficient money to have your fairy tale wedding, it can just be a party because you'll already be married. But all that my name is Paul, and that's up to y'all. But destination weddings are dumb as crap because what you're doing is you're being selfish. You are not thinking of your guests at all because you're making them fly all the way there. And so that would be the kind of thing where I would be like, no, I would go to the wedding if it was here, but I'm not flying anywhere. Sorry. Love you. Sorry about that. But all that's up to you. Whatever you want to do there, you can do whatever you want to do, but you can't expect everybody to also go there. Now, one idea for a destination wedding might be good is if the bride and groom's family lives in a certain situation. No, lives in a certain area. Both families live in a certain area, and that would make sense to have a destination wedding. Like, say, if you have 5 friends where you're living now, and back home you have, tons and tons of family members on both sides, then that might be a good idea for a destination wedding, but otherwise not. Yeah, the under 10K, that's fine to be under 10K. Great. Work it out however you want. I don't know what suggestion you're looking for. But the South/Midwest is not the same thing. And also, Florida is already South. Robert Jesus, what up? What up? Feels good not having to work until December. Oh, that's fun. I'm taking my last bit of paid time off this week. But I'm still working Thursday and Friday, both double time days, fun times. Enjoy the time off. Robert G. Peanut Master 1. All right. Do you cash in investments to buy a car? You should not have non-retirement investments while you have a house payment still. But yeah, you would pay it with whatever cash you had. And if you don't have any cash, then yes, you would cash in investments that are in that are not in a retirement account. They'd have to be in a brokerage account. We need to buy a used vehicle soon. Do you actually need to, or you just want to? Need is the most overused word in the Ramsey verse. And I'm trying to figure out the smartest financial move. Look at the whole thing. I get a little agua. Our situation, we have several TFSA investment accounts that have performed well this year. I don't think that's a retirement account. I can't remember. Let's take a quick look at that. Did I not? There we go. TFSA. Tax-free saving account, registered investment account available to Canadians over the age of majority. That would be minimum legal age, I guess, like 18 here. Don't know if it's the same there. It allows investments and savings to grow tax-free, and withdrawals are also tax-free. Okay. Individuals can contribute up to an annual limit. Example, $7,000 in 2025, so equivalent basically to our Roth IRA, I guess, but there's no penalty to, I'm assuming it says withdrawals tax-free. I don't know if they are penalty for not waiting until, I don't know that it's actually a retirement account though. Carry over unused contribution room to future years. Yep. Oh, interesting. So like if you only put $1,000 in there in 2025, in 2026 you'll have the 7 plus another 6. So then you can put 13 in. Interesting. How it works. For any reason without penalty. Okay, no penalties either. So savings goal, yep, regardless of age or employment status. Must be Canadian. Sole ownership account. Self-directed one if you're comfortable managing your own investments. Good. So yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a retirement account. But also you would not have money in there. I mean, I guess unless you were putting your full emergency fund in there, if you could do that. But also you should not be have your full emergency fund in the market at all. It shouldn't be in an investment. So just high yield savings account for the emergency fund. So yeah, you would not have this if you still had a house payment. Or if you had debt, obviously we don't have savings over the $1,000. If you still have debt, because all that money needs to go to debt. So what's the question again? Several TFSA investment accounts. You have a bunch of how do you get more than one account? You can open as many accounts as you want, or maybe you can open different accounts. And it's like the Roth too. You can open 5 Roths, but the limit that you have on one is the same as the limit for all of them. So you don't get to invest more by having more Roth accounts. What's that? 17 and 9. That's 26, and so that's $30,000. These accounts were originally meant to help fund big purchases like a car. Okay. So that's exactly what you did it for. So, okay. But now they're growing nicely and generating dividends. I'm questioning whether it makes sense to cash them out. So what you would not do, all right, well, let me, yeah, see, this is it here. See, we're buying a used car, still shopping around. Okay. Used, great. I can get a 3.5 financing rate right now. Are you familiar with Mr. Ramsey at all? How did you end up on the Ramsey subreddit? You're dumb, and you probably already know that Mr. Ramsey is the no debt guy. So that would mean you don't finance a car, and also you don't finance the car to keep cash in this account, because that is debt leveraging. So you're being very dumb, and I don't know how you can't know this. If you somehow got to the Dave Ramsey subreddit, I don't know how you can't know that Mr. Ramsey is the no debt guy. My question, given the investment performance and potential long-term compounding, I don't care if it made $1 billion. That's not going to change the Ramsey advice, you idiot. Does it make more sense to finance at 3% and only use part of our investment for the down payment? No, quit being an idiot. Or should we still consider cashing out the investments and buying the car outright? You buy the car outright no matter where the money comes from. And if it has to come from cashing out those investments, so be it. Hey, you know what? Maybe you don't freaking need a car at all. So maybe you don't buy that, and maybe you leave the money in there. So that's an option as well. Yes, I know the market could correct. Just trying to make the math and logic clear. And I hate when people say correct, meaning go down. How do you know that going up is not the correct amount? You're so dumb. People are so freaking dumb. Crazy. Specific part 3777. Where should we put our money in our Roths? Husband and I, 27-year-old and 28-year-old. Maybe he like older women. Both just opened up our Roths with Schwab and are maxing out our Roths each month and currently investing. It doesn't have a monthly maximum. It has a yearly though. So maybe you're taking the year maximum and divided it by 12 or however many months when you started it to the rest of the year. You also can continue to fill it between January 1st, 2026 and tax day. You can still put money in your 2025 Roth, which you should do. You should always backfill before going to the new year, just in case you happen to make a bunch of extra money the next year. Then you can do that. Currently invested fully into VTI. Should we diversify it a little? Yeah, that's a retirement account, my friend. So that is, since it's for retirement, you should be doing the full split, the four-way split that Mr. Ramsey advises. And not this freaking index, Vanguard, some kind of, let's see what it is. Total stock market index fund. Okay. Yeah. And so, yes, you need to be in 25% each of the total amount you're putting in there. So 25% each should be in small cap, mid cap, large cap, and international managed mutual funds that make more than those freaking indexes is what you should be getting. No indexes. So yes, you should diversify it. You're doing it wrong. So, and again, it's the device is so simple. I don't know why people don't know it. Or if they think, oh, well, maybe that doesn't apply to me. Maybe you're a dumbass if you think that. New job, need to get my life together. This job is all I have. Looking for advice. Well, you don't have, let's see, Robert G said, I heard a guy the other day advising to keep 5 banks and split all the money between 5 because it makes you feel like you have more. Yeah, was that happen to be on I think the guy's name is Ramit. He had a show, and one of the couples that he was advising, the husband, said he does like to do that. He likes to split it all up because it seems like more. It's not more, you dumbass. People are so dumb. They are just so incredibly dumb. Key the zebra, frequent poster on here. You shouldn't key anything except lock. New job, need to get my life together. Yeah, get job is all I have. That's sad if that's all you have, but better that than nothing. Hey everyone, hi guys. I start a new office job tomorrow. Yay, such an annoying time job searching 2+ years. That was way too long. You should have started working somewhere while also looking instead of waiting 2 years to work, 2+ years to work. That was dumb as crap. Again, people so dumb. I will make $24 an hour. Yay, congratulations. I currently have $130 to my name. That's because you didn't work for 2+ years, you dumbass. Credit card with $2,000 debt. Yeah. Stupid tax. Student loans, $45,000. Stupid tax. I am couch surfing between a friend's apartment and my dad's apartment. The bills there would be no more than like $500 a month or so. The friend is going to have a baby in 7 months or so. I would like to move out way before that. Yeah. My car is most likely going to die soon. See, people are dumb about that too. How do you know, especially if you're not a mechanic? Quit being dumb. 15-year-old Toyota. Toyotas run a long time. They run great generally. Quit being dumb and wishing stuff into existence. My car is most likely going to die soon. That often means I want a new car. No, is the answer to that. The chest isn't running right, unfortunately. I got to have a little bit more than it's not running right. And is it too expensive to fix? I own it. Okay, great. So it's probably not too expensive to fix then. Again, you just want a new one probably. But, I mean, if that is the case, okay, great. Get a beater then. So I will have to get a car payment, again, overused in the Ramsey verse. No, you don't have to. You're choosing to do that. You don't have to do crap. You're choosing to do that. Most likely, which sucks. What? Let's see what else, other dumb crap. But I don't see any question. I don't see any what advice you're looking for. Stop being a dumbass would be it. I ruined my life for the last 1.5 years because you didn't get a job, probably. Many different reasons. Okay, great. Do better now. I'm really trying not to ruin my life again and maybe even enjoy it again. Stop thinking you need to get a car payment, you idiot. Any advice or motivation would help. Understand the baby steps. Do you, though? Do you? I have my reservations on that. But this level of instability seems almost insurmountable. I guess I'll need to save about $3,500 to $400, $3,500 to $4,000 to move out between deposit, first month, living expenses, and emergency money. Yeah. Thanks. I'm almost 28, and this is my last hurrah before I just give up on my 1/3 of my life. Oh, quit being so dramatic, you wuss. Quit being so dramatic, all right? Gosh, you got the job. Okay, and so what you got to do now is stop spending money like you all of a sudden have a job after 2+ years. Don't spend extra money, buy only necessities, and save up that money to move out of there. Quit being a dumbass. Quit doing your same stuff you're doing. How about you ended up on the Dave Ramsey subreddit? How about you follow his advice and stop trying to think about ways to do it better or different than him? Because anything that you think is better, anything that's different than Dave Ramsey's advice has not been proven. It doesn't have any kind of track record. And based on your track record, I'd say it's a good chance it's dumb as crap. So don't do that. My car is going to die and didn't want to do small repairs. So, I guess I'll spend $50,000 on an SUV. Haha. Yeah, that's your average person. Which people would just say they want something and then try and go on here and justify it to make their little special case, right? Yeah. Well, dumb. So dumb. Luca Transic 14, auto loan question. I currently have an auto loan of approximately $22,000. The vehicle is worth about $45,000. Okay. I have about $18,000 sitting in the bank right now. I wonder if this asshole is doing it wrong. Yes, he is. So stupid. Again, step 1 says save $1,000 for your start emergency fund. It doesn't say have other savings than that, you idiot. People getting on my nerve, working my nerves. And my only other major monthly expenses, insurance for it and a motorcycle, $170-ish. I am debating just paying the entirety of the loan off in a few months. You pay it all off immediately, you dumbass. Oh, well, you can't. $18,000 will only take about... So you need to keep $1,000 for your start emergency fund. So that would be $17,000, and then you'd have only $5,000 left. So, okay, a few months, right? When I have all the money. No, you don't need to wait. You're a dumbass. You don't wait until you have all the money. If you, hey, you freaking idiot. If you put $17,000 towards it, That means going forward, you will only be paying interest on 5,000, not all 22. You idiot. And a few thousand extra. Is this a good idea, or should I just keep the loan? My interest rate is 4.99%. You never keep the loan. You pay it off always. Why don't? Anyway, that's people are nutty. As we know, double succotash 2542, debt-free journey $3,191.66 left to go. Payoff stats: 1 year 9 months. Salary 75,000 to 140,000. Excellent. Plus bonus potential. Excellent. That's doubling it almost. 140K salary since August 2025. Great. $44,151.19. Total debt payoff average during each salary range. Okay, all that I don't care about that. What else do we have? Selling stuff and lump sum payment, downsizing car and initial car loan debt. Vacation payout when I departed previous employer. 3191.66, as it says, left to pay. Next 2 paychecks and I'll be debt free. Congratulations. Stop doing dumbass crap is what this person did. Would advise that for everybody. I mean, does Mr. Ramsey have to put that in the steps? Part of baby step 0 probably is stop thinking you know better. Stop doing the same crap you've been doing that caused you to search out this advice. You idiot. Need to put that on the baby steps, probably. Part of baby step 0. How do you set boundaries with family? You say no, even though it's family. It doesn't matter if they're family or not. If you need to say no, you need to say no, regardless of who it is. I don't care if it's the King of England. Not that that would have anything to do with anything. Gluten-free air. Hey, everyone, a little background. Active duty Army now. Used to work as a data analyst. My only debt is my student loan. I'm aggressively paying it down. Great. What's the problem? Usually 2 to 3 extra payments every paycheck. Great. Budget tightly. I'm getting as much of grad school covered by the Army as possible. Great. What's the question? Where's the family come in? I'm also using every resource available: therapy, PT, the dietitian, financial counseling, etc. Great. I still have my old data job. Okay. I joined the Army to work in behavioral health, figure out if mental health work was right for me, and earn the GI Bill for any future grad program. Right. Okay. No problem with you so far. I don't see any problem so far. I've since decided to pursue an MBA and return to data long term, and happy with that direction. That seems fine as well. Where you need advice: I love my family, but they make consistently poor financial choices and often expect me to bail them out. Okay. Them making poor financial choices, that's none of your business. I mean, you can tell them, don't do that. That's bad. And the reason you should not do that is because I'm not going to bail you out. That's a no for me, dog. That idea is not going to Hollywood. Last week, my sister called me crying because she can't afford to move out, and now she's inviting me on a vacation to Brussels. Yeah, no. So hopefully telling them no doesn't cost you your relationship with the family, but if it does, that's on them, not you. My family has this "you only live once" mindset. Yeah, okay. Well, they should also have that mindset when it comes to not having money for food then. You'll only live once. It's fine. You don't need the food. Dumb. So dumb. But when reality catches up, they panic and go online blaming rich people, corruption, or insisting you just need to believe. Believe what? Believe that everything will be fine? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I'm looking for guidance on how to set firm. You just say no. I'm not participating in that. I don't live my life that way. So why should I finance you doing that dumbass crap? No, no, and no. I don't care if they're family or friends or anybody. Anybody that's trying to cause negativeness to happen to your finances, that's out. They're out. I don't care. They're out. No, no, and no. And like I said, hopefully it won't cost you the relationship, but that's up to them. Without damaging the relationship. You might not be able to. You can't control what they do. If you could control what they do, you would have them not be so stupid with money. But you can't control it. If they wanna be assholes and hold it against you and have grudges because you didn't give your money that you saved while they spent all their money like idiots, they shouldn't expect it. But of course, I see that they do. And how do I stay focused on my goals when my family keeps pulling me toward their financial chaos? You don't go there. Okay, you accept them for what they are. They're bad with money. Okay, and they're going to continue to go bad with money until they decide not to. So they're not pulling you to it. So okay, so all that's in your head though. Because it doesn't matter what they're doing. The same as if they were on drugs. You can tell them drugs aren't a great idea. Don't do that. Don't do drugs. Because not only they cost money, they also are bad for you. So do not do that. And if they continue to do that, or bad money behavior, such as the actual case, how does that affect you? That doesn't affect you. I mean, you can feel sorry for them, but you're not going to give them any more money. No. And so that doesn't mean pulling you towards the financial chaos. Quit trying to make it flowery or whatever, using flowery language to it. But to pulling me towards it, them asking you to do that is not pulling you towards it. Because you don't have to go towards it. You can just say, no, I'm not doing that. You didn't have to spend money on that stuff. So, because you didn't have the money. But you put on a credit card or other debt. You're in debt for it. And you want me to pay it off? Why should I do that? And you know why I have money? It's because I didn't buy all that dumbass crap that you did. So you just have to not be pulled in. Stop being pulled in. So this part is your fault. I mean, Ken keeps pulling me in. So I can see why you ask and why you're concerned about it. Is you need to have a backbone and do whatever's best good for you, which is to not give them any more money at all. No, 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 and no. David said we need to love these people from a distance. That does sound like something Mr. Ramsey would say, for sure. So, and again, you just do. You have a backbone and you just make the decision that you're not going to give them any more money and you stick with that. The same as you set up a budget and you stick with that budget, you stick with the decision to not give them any more money. And that doesn't drag you in just because they keep doing bad stuff with money and keep asking. They probably will keep asking, but guess what? It's a no every time. Eventually they'll stop. And that may cost you a relationship. That's on them, not you. All righty. almost certainly another, because I'm off tomorrow, almost certainly another Ramsey Show After Show 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. And what will we talk about? Some retirement advice. Sorry, excuse me, pardon me. Concerning a pension, as we know, pensions only count as half. If you're contributing 15% to a pension, that only counts as 7.5% towards Dave's 15. So you got to invest another. You got to invest 15% of your gross income into the pension, and then also 7.5 in the market as well, because the pension is not going to be as good as the market. Christmas budget, the pressure to buy gifts for everyone and ungrateful recipients. What would Dave do? You don't have to buy gifts for anyone. You don't have to do that. And guess what? If you're feeling pressure to buy gifts for everyone, that's all in your head. That's all in your head. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. Even if they're asking for gifts, that has nothing to do with you having to do it. And some people are ungrateful, for sure. And so you can just limit your gift giving to anybody that you think is even a little bit sus, even if they're family and friends. You can do that. You get to choose who you buy Christmas stuff for. And that should be at a very, very low amount. Should be a minimum if you're on baby steps 1, 2, or 3. And again, we'll look at all the details on tomorrow's after show. What if any is the difference between an impulse buy and buying a useful product after legitimately unexpecting encountering it? It depends on what baby step you're on, whether that's all right to do. If you're in step 1, 2, 3, no, you didn't need it before. So useful doesn't mean it's a need either. So that would be it. It depends on whether it's a need or not. And so we'll read exactly, maybe the person has an example of an item. Sell single stock now to pay down mortgage or wait for it to grow another year. You should sell it definitely, whether you take it out of the account or not, or you just manage mutual funds with it. Depends on if it's a retirement account or not. If they are just in a brokerage account that's not tax advantaged, then you would sell them and you would take it out to pay down the mortgage. Yeah. Because you shouldn't have other investments other than retirement while you still have a mortgage. So you're doing it wrong. I mean, and like if it's a thing where you get it free from the company, you would take it, say thank you, and you would keep it only as long as you had to before you're allowed to sell it. And then you would sell it and then put the money towards whatever baby step you're on. And that would be at least house there. 4, 5, and 6, it sounds like, if there's pay down mortgage extra than just the normal payment. Confused on Dave takes on retirement fund versus bank loan. That's your retirement. Okay. It's your retirement. It's not for, oh, your dumbass took out debt and now you want to pay off debt with your retirement money. You put that in the retirement fund in a retirement account so that it could be used for retirement. So that means that's where it stays until you retire. Bank loan is a different thing. That's debt, and that's a no. Stop being dumb. Why are you're only confused because you're a dumbass. Goodness gracious. And we'll read all that and find more about the dumbassery. How to make meat stretch. Buy cheaper meat, maybe. Don't buy as much. Buy more rice and beans and less meat, perhaps. Especially if you're on baby steps 1, 2, and 3. Hope for advice on what my next steps would be now that I'm here. That would be follow the baby steps. And they added a thank you. And so they'll probably be, I'll click on it and there'll be the actual question will be in there. In your rice and beans era, I'm in my don't say era is what I'm in. Check your local Indian grocery store for high quality, cheap rice in bulk. Okay, good idea. Talk me out of the credit card game. Stop it. Again, where are we? We're not in the Financial Bro subreddit. We're not in personal finance subreddit. We are on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. Guess what? If you're here, you almost certainly know that he is the no debt guy. So guess what? A credit card is debt. The second you swipe it, the second you buy something online with it, it is debt. I don't care if you pay it off every month. It's still using debt. And so that's a no from Mr. Ramsey. And so I don't need to talk you out of it. Your dumbass can keep being a dumbass and using it. If you want to, go ahead. Knock yourself out. I don't care. I've taken care of my life. I made the decision not to do debt. And my life is infinitely better because of it. So you can, I mean, even wanting to be talked out of it, talk your own dumbass out of it. Stop being so dumb, everybody. So if you say talk me out of it, that means you know it would be the best thing to do. So why can't that be good enough? Quit being stupid. And that snowball. We'll see what their question is with the debt snowball. All right. Once again, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach, Steve Money. And you're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And if you are having a money problem or money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me. That will happen through video conferencing. But if you'd like to do that, you can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. And we'll make it happen, like I said. You can also use that email address for any financial questions or anything, any questions about anything really on my channel or whatever. PayPal.me/CoachSteveMoney for donations. Alternatively, the Cash App at $CoachSteveMoney, or Walmart gift card to, you guessed it, that same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams subject to change. The Ramsey Show Aftershow show. And that starts at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time after the Ramsey Show for that day on YouTube is over. And we did Monday, that's today. Also Tuesday and Wednesday, the 25th and 26th of November, will be the after shows for this week. None Thursday or Friday. Answering your financial question streams, 8 p.m. Eastern, every Saturday and or Sunday. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. That means quit being a dumbass. Make smart financial decisions every day.